Good evening, everybody. Welcome to First Responder Broadcasting coverage of Georgetown Eagle Baseball live here on the SHN Sports Network. We're live, Elgin, Texas, and we sit here at beautiful Elgin, Texas, Elgin High School. A beautiful field tonight. Coach Burgess has this one looking great here. It's an all-grass field with a dirt infield, dirt mound, dirt catcher's home plate area with a grass infield, grass outfield, and what a great shape the turf is in here at Elgin High School. We're live here for game one of this best-of-two series here tonight in Elgin, Texas. Georgetown, the road team tonight, out of the first base dugout in the white pants. Down the first base dugout, the white pants with the blue stripe. The baby blues tonight with the white numerals on the back outlined in Georgetown blue with the Georgetown blue hats. Long pants with the blue shoes for the Eagles. Eagles in script lettering in white across the front of the baby blue jerseys for your Georgetown Eagles tonight. The visitors here in Elgin, Texas. The home team is the Elgin Wildcats. They're in all white. White pants, white jerseys, purple hats to go along with the cleats on the white jerseys and white pants with the purple numerals on the third base side here for tonight between Georgetown and Elgin. Elgin comes into the ball game 6-7-1 overall, 2-2 in district play on a two-game winning streak. They won back-to-back games over the Weiss Wolves last week to get their 2 wins in district after being swept by Hendrickson in the first week of district play. They lost back-to-back games to the Hendrickson Hawks, and so they righted that ship last week to get to 2-2 in district. They currently sit in about 4th place, tied for 4th with Eastview in the district. At the top, Pflugerville and Hendrickson both at 2-0. They both had one series in district play in the first 2 weeks. They've had their bye weeks early, and so they both sit at 2-0. Georgetown right behind at 3-1, Elgin at 2-2 along with Eastview, and then Weiss at 1-3 and Conley at 0-4. Last week, a rough one for Georgetown. They won it 9-2 on Tuesday night at home against the Eastview Patriots in that Crosstown Classic. And then the Patriots were not very kind hosts on Friday night. They brought Georgetown in to play at Patriot Park, and they took a 2-1 victory over the Eagles behind a great pitching performance from Andres Uzcateca, the junior. Boy, what a job Andres Uzcateca did in the ballgame. Scattered 6 hits over 6 innings, struck out 6, allowed no runs in his outing. And then the closer comes in. That was the shortstop, McKinnon Thorpe. Allowed 1 run, got the bases loaded. Georgetown had them loaded, got 1 run on a bases-loaded walk of Jaden Howell, and then Braden Curtin struck out looking for out number 3 to end the ballgame. 2-1, Eastview won it. And so Georgetown falls to 7-7-1 overall, but 3-1 in district. No Saturday game as they got Friday, Saturday. I said they played on Friday. They played on Thursday. They had Friday, Saturday, Sunday off for spring break, and now back at it here with another busy week in baseball for Georgetown. Tonight they'll be here at Elgin, and then Friday night back home in the friendly confines of Eagle Field there at Georgetown High School, 7 p.m. first pitch against the Elgin Wildcats in Game 2. And then turn around on Saturday and welcome in the Liberty Hill Panthers to Eagle Field, and a Saturday tilt with the foe just down the road on 29. And then Thursday night, if you don't have anything to do, we can talk Eagle Baseball. That's live at Camp Brightside. Come join us. Coach Vieira, along with Eagle Baseball players. We'll have the freshman of the week, the JV player of the week, and then a couple of varsity players to visit with us there at the Camp Brightside location. Gracious host, and what a location it is. A great family atmosphere, great place just to go enjoy a great meal, great home cooking there at Camp Brightside. A beautiful bar, lots of TVs there if you want to watch NCAA basketball, March Madness on. But come join us Thursday night, 6:45, 7 o'clock. We'll get it started and have the coaches show there for about an hour, hour and 15, hour and a half. Sometimes we run long. We love to talk Eagle baseball, and so tonight here at Elgin, we get ready to go. Coach Burgess out at home plate with the 2-man umpire crew waiting for Coach Vieira and manager Jared Frimmel to join him at the home plate. A wind blowing out of the south from right field to left field. So watch any balls hit to the left field here at Elgin High School, because those balls could get up and get out of here in a hurry. Nice, not a stiff wind, but a nice breeze, continual breeze. You see the American flag and the Elgin flag out in center field behind the wall there that are standing up and blowing with the wind. And so a good wind here. Not too much to bear, but enough to make it feel good out here. A beautiful night. A few clouds in the area, but a beautiful night for baseball live here at Elgin High School. In the series, Georgetown leads at 13-0 lifetime against Elgin. a 13-game winning streak for Georgetown. Georgetown averages 7.9 runs per game when they play Elgin and averages allowing only 1.4 runs to the Wildcats in those 13 games, scoring 95 runs, allowing 17. And so it'll be an interesting time. Coach Burgess has turned this team around. They have some talent here. You'll see one of them on the mound tonight, the right-hander throwing for the Wildcats in Jalen Owens. But you've got a two-sport stud in Tyson McFarland, the shortstop. He is talented. You've got Jack Grames over at first base, the senior. He is a talented ball player. And so they have some talent on this. Malachi Hibbs, the second baseman. And so Elgin has done some good things. Coach Burgess has a great team going here at Elgin High School. So it should be a good battle here tonight at Elgin High School. Here comes head coach Jordan Vieira, manager Jared Fremmel to bring the lineups out to the meeting at home plate. The Wildcats on the season have scored 53 runs, averaging 3.8 a game in district, averaging 3.75 runs a game, about average, allowing 5.8 runs a game. But in district, that's where Elgin has gotten hurt. In the two-game series against Hendrickson, they gave up 14 and 12. They are allowing 7.8 runs per ball game in district play, only 5.8 in the season. Georgetown in district is averaging 4 runs a ball game, averaging 9.5 runs a ball game, only allowing 1 run a game. But unfortunately, one of those runs in that average, they had 2 give it up to Elgin, or to Eastview on Thursday night in that tough loss. Coming into the ball game, averaging 6.7 runs a game on the season, allowing 3.5, but tightening it up in district and putting more runs up. But they'll have to do it again tonight here against the Wildcats. The rest of the week we gave you for Georgetown. For Georgetown next week, we'll be on the road on Tuesday at Hendrickson, back home on Friday against the Hawks, and then back home on Saturday at 11 a.m. against Lehman High School out of Buda. Kyle there in the Buda Consolidated ISD. Georgetown gets ready to go. They will be leading it off here tonight in Elgin, and we will go with the starting lineup as selected by head coach Jordan Vieira, his assistant coaches, Chad Payne, David Durrell, Frank Anzuris, and James Key. The starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles tonight, leading it off at shortstop, number 7, Jack Kiki. Batting second, the catcher, number 23, Connor Young. Batting third, center field, number 6, Luke Holly. Batting in the cleanup spot, number 16, the third baseman, Hayden Grooms. Batting fifth at first base, number 12, David Fluitt. Batting sixth, the DH tonight, number 14, Braden Rogers. Batting seventh, the pitcher, number 21, Braden Curtin. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 4, Tate Ritchie. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 24, Cooper Thomas. Defensively for the Eagles in the DH lineup spot, defensively will be number 2, Jalem Hunter at second base. So the Eagles will go with Kiki, Young, and Holly in the top third, Grooms, Fluitt, and Rogers in the middle third, Curtin, Ritchie, and Thomas in the bottom third. Braden Curtin, the right-hander junior, will be on the mound for your Georgetown Eagles. The Elgin Wildcats, they come into the ball game under head coach Jason Burgess. Assistant coaches Sean Luna, Matthew Denigro, Michael Silkett are the coaches here for the Elgin Wildcats. Their starting lineup will go this way tonight here at home. Leading it off at shortstop, number 5, Tyson McFarland. Batting second, the center fielder, number 8, Fernando Ramirez. Batting third, the pitcher, number 24, Jalen Owens. Batting fourth, the second baseman, number 28, Malachi Hibbs. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 10, Kason Nall. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 3, Jack Grames. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 13, Bryce Barron. Batting eighth, the DH, number 19, Joaquin Rodriguez. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 11, Trey Flores. So the Wildcats will respond with McFarland, Ramirez, and Owens in the top third of their lineup. Hibbs, Nall, and Grames in the middle third. Barron, Rodriguez, and Flores in the bottom third for the Elgin Wildcats. We'll go to the PA announcer. I assume we will have introductions of the two teams, and then we'll have tonight's national anthem before we get underway live here at Elgin High School.
Welcome to Elgin High School for tonight's baseball game between the visiting Georgetown Eagles and your Elgin Wildcats. This game is being conducted according to the rules and regulations of the University Interscholastic League and the National Federation of High Schools.
Other action in District 23 play tonight. Eastview on the road at Pflugerville. Weiss is at Hendrickson. And in their off week, the Conley Cougars will host the Rockdale Tigers tonight in non-district play. And the starting lineups from the PA.
Playing shortstop, batting first, number 7, Kiki. Batting second and catching, number 23, Young. Batting third and playing center field, number 6, Holly. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 16, Grooms. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 12, Fluid. Batting sixth and DHing, number 14, Rogers. He's DHing for the second baseman, Hunter, number 2. Batting seventh and pitching, number 21, Curtin. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 4, Richie. Batting ninth and playing left field, number 24, Thomas. And the rest of your Georgetown Eagles, the reserves. The Eagles are coached by Jordan Vieira, Chad Payne, David Durrell, Frank Andrews, and James Keith. And now for your Elgin Wildcats. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 5, Tyson McFarland. Batting second and playing center field, number 8, Fernando Ramirez. Batting third and pitching, number 24, Jalen Owens. Batting fourth, playing second base, number 28, Malachi Hibbs. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 10, Kason Nah. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 3, Jack Graves. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 13, Bryce Barron. Batting eighth and DHing, number 19, Joaquin Rodriguez. He's DHing for the catcher, number 7, Alejandro Ramirez. Batting ninth and playing right field, number 11, Trey Flores. Subs for the Wildcats, number 2, Mason Nunez, number 20, Christian Carlos, number 21, Jesse Guerrero, and number 22, Jonathan Richard. The Wildcats are coached by head coach Jason Bourgeois, assisted by Sean Luna.
So I'll make sure I correct that. It's Jason Bourgeois, not Burgess. It is Jason Bourgeois, the head coach of the Elgin Wildcats. So join us now as we go to the national anthem. Back here live, Elgin High School. We get ready for the top of the first. The Eagles bringing up Kiki, Young, and Holly to start the ball game here against Jalen Owens, the right-handed pitcher for the Elgin Wildcats. Defensively for the Wildcats, there it goes, updated for me. Nall in left field, Fernando Ramirez in center, Flores in right. Over at third base, Barron, McFarland at short, Hibbs at second, Grames at first. Behind the plate, Alejandro Ramirez. And on the mound, the right-hander, number 24, senior Jalen Owens. DHing for the Wildcats in place of the catcher, Alejandro Ramirez, will be Joaquin Rodriguez, number 19, for Elgin. And so we'll be able to watch that tonight as the catcher will be hit for. Jalen Owens, the righty, will work out of the windup to start the ball game as Jack Kiki will step in for the Eagles to lead things off here in the top of the first. Where's number 7, the junior right-hander? Beautiful night for baseball. The crowd is starting to fill in here. Georgetown always travels well here on the first base side. The Elgin Wildcats in purple splashing in on the third base side. Back behind us, softball going on. The Elgin Wildcats have the district week off. They are taking on the Marble Falls Mustangs in non-district play. Currently a 1-0 lead here in the third inning for the Wildcats as the Mustangs bat in the top of the third. But a lot of upgrades here at the Elgin High School, and what a job Coach Clausen's done here, the football coach, athletic director, coordinator here at Elgin High School, and a beautiful athletic complex built right behind our vantage point here behind the baseball field, offset to the side of the Elgin Wildcat football field. But what a job and upgrades being done here at Elgin High School and for this Wildcat program as the coaches have just been coming in. Bourgeois, Coach Clausen, doing a great job here at Elgin here in Elgin, Texas. Jack Kiki, the shortstop, he gets ready to go for your Georgetown Eagles. He'll step in from the right side. Jalen Owens, the right-hander, will work from the first base side of the rubber in the windup to get things going for the Wildcats here in the top of the first inning. The first pitch underway, and it's in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Jack Kiki. Georgetown off the one-game loss on Thursday night to the Eastview Patriots. The Wildcats on a 2-game winning streak. The 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 2 to Jack Kiki here in the top of the first. Game 1 of this best-of-2 series that will continue Friday night back at Eagle Field at Georgetown High School at 7 p.m. The 0-2 pitch to Kiki stays high through the zone for a ball. 1-2 the count to the junior shortstop. The sophomore catcher, Connor Young, on deck, followed by senior center fielder Luke Holly. Here in the top half of the first inning. Oh, it's from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen. And Jack Kiki stays alive in the at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leading it off here in the top of the first here in Elgin, Texas. Owens 1-2 pitch. Kiki slaps it down the third baseline. Fair. It's down the line being chased by Nall. And Kiki around first. He'll hit it into second. It's a leadoff double for junior Jack Kiki. And Georgetown has the leadoff man aboard here in the top of the first. The first hit of the ball game for the Eagles. Great piece of hitting there by Jack Kiki. Took the 1-2 pitch and drove it just inside the bag down the third baseline on the line drive. Past the diving Barron. And that'll bring up the left-handed hitting catcher, number 23, Connor Young. He'll step in from the left side. Kiki will lead off second. Now Owens out of the stretch. A look back at second base. The first pitch, Young squares, takes it back. The bunt back doesn't go for it. It gets past the catcher for a ball all the way back to the backstop. And now Jack Kiki motors into third base on that passed ball. And now the Eagles have their leadoff man aboard and over to third base with no outs and a 1-0 count to Connor Young. Connor, the sophomore catcher, steps back in for the left side. Now Owens out of the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Up and away, ball 2. 2-0 the count now to Connor Young. Kiki, the leadoff double, advances on the pass ball off the glove of the catcher, Ramirez. And now a 2-0 count from the windup, the 2-0 pitch. Connor sends it into center field, gives it a ride. Fernando Ramirez on the run, can't get to it, it's down. That'll be an RBI. Connor Young around second, he's headed to third, and it's going to be an RBI triple for Connor Young. Georgetown leads it 1-0. The center fielder, Fernando Ramirez, came up gingerly there, gets helped out. And now Coach Bourgeois will come out to check on his center fielder. But an RBI triple by Connor Young. What a shot there. And now Colton Crutchfield will come in to courtesy run for the catcher, Connor Young. Kiki cruises in for the first run of the ball game, second hit of the ball game, both extra base hits for Georgetown. And now Luke Colley steps in with no outs and a runner at third. First pitch in there for a called strike to Luke. 0-1 to count. The 0-1 pitch. Late call there from the home plate umpire, but it's called strike two. 0-2 the count. Now Luke will step back in. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs, a runner at third, 1 across. Owens from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. And Holly swings at it, but he gets past the catcher, Fernando Ramirez, and that'll play Colton Crutchfield from third base. And Holly reaches base on the strikeout. First strikeout of the ballgame for Jalen Owens, but on the drop third strike. Cool. 2-0 now with no outs and a runner at first. So we'll record the strikeout for Owens. But on a drop third strike, Holly gets to first base. So another pass ball there to the catcher, Alejandro Ramirez. And in steps Hayden Grooms with no outs and a runner at first. Owens in the stretch. Comes set. The first pitch to Grooms. Holly off and running. Throw down, not in time. Holly standing on the stolen base. The pitch is called strike 1 on Hayden Grooms. Luke Holly gets to second on the stolen base, first of the night for the Eagles. And another runner in scoring position here with no outs in the top of the first. Jalen Owens comes set in the stretch. A look back at second base. The 0-1 pitch. Groom sends it right back up the middle. Base hit. It's into center field. Fernando Ramirez up with it. Will throw home. And Holly will stay at third base, but with that throw home, that'll move Grooms into scoring position. And now the Eagles have runners on second and third with no outs here in the first inning. Third hit of the inning. As Grooms singles, advances to second on the throw. Holly moves up to third. And in steps David Flewitt, the senior first baseman. He'll step in from the left side. Runners on second and third. No outs here in the top of the first. 2 runs across for Georgetown. Owens out of the windup. The first pitch to Flewitt. That one's down to the turf. Wild pitch. And that'll easily score Holly from third. Grooms around to third. Now he'll retreat back to third base for the first wild pitch of the ball game for Jalen Owens. And a one ball, no strike count to Flewitt. So Luke Holly scores. And Coach Bourgeois is going to take a quick timeout here to go out and visit with his team. Quick timeout. 3-0. Georgetown leads it here in the top of the first. A runner on third and no outs. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here at Elgin High School in the top of the first. Flewitt steps back in, a 1-0 count. The 1-0 pitch to Flewitt. Down in the turf, another wild pitch. And that'll score Hayden Grooms. And so the Eagles have put up 4 in a row here to start the ball game. Second wild pitch. of the ball game for Jalen Owens. And now the bases are clear. It's a 2-0 count to David Flewitt with no outs and 4 runs across. The 2-0 pitch. Flewitt fouls it into the glove of the catcher for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. A leadoff double followed by a triple, followed by a strikeout with a drop third strike. Holly reaches base. 2-1 pitch, grounded to first base. Grames will field it and take it 3 unassisted for the out. For out number 1 to retire Flewitt. That'll bring up the DH, number 14, Braden Rogers. A 1 out, and the base is empty here in the top of the first. 3 hits for the Eagles, a single, a double, and a triple. 4 runs across thanks to a couple of pass balls and a couple of wild pitches. First pitch to Rogers. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Braden Curtin, the pitcher, waits on deck for the Eagles here in the top of the first. Owens gets the sign, the 0-1 pitch. That one misses inside for ball 1. 1-1 the count now. The junior DH, number 14, Braden Rogers, back in on the right side. Owens from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen. 1-2 now the count to Braden Rogers. 1 out here in the inning. The 1-2 pitch. Chases it down to the dirt, but a wild pitch, and he's going to reach on a drop third strike as well. So the second strikeout of the ballgame for Jalen Owens. But the out is not recorded after the drop third strike, so Rogers down to first base. And that'll bring up Braden Curtin. Braden, the pitcher, the junior right-hander, will step in with 1 out. And a runner at first now, and on deck goes Tate Ritchie, the right fielder. Curtin will step in from the right side with a runner at first as Owens moves to the stretch. From the first base side of the rubber comes set. A throw over to first base. Rogers back standing safely. 4-0 here in the top of the first. Georgetown leads it. Still batting with 1 out and a runner at first base. Rogers will step back in from the right side as Owens looks in and gets the sign. Comes set in the stretch. First pitch to Curtin. Swinging fly ball sent into right field. Flores will back up, settle under it, and make the catch for out number 2. F9 in the book to retire Curtin. And with 2 outs and a runner at first, that'll bring up the right fielder, number 4, Tate Ritchie, the senior. Ritchie will step in from the right side. With Cooper Thomas now, the sophomore left fielder, on deck for Georgetown. Ritchie steps in the 8th hole for the Eagles. Here in the top of the first, 4 runs across, a runner at first base, and 2 outs. Jalen Owen looked in, gets the sign, and comes set in the stretch. First pitch, catches the outside corner for a call of strike 1. 0-1 the count. Tate Ritchie. Tate ready to go. Owens comes set, the 0-1 pitch. That one's in the dirt. Nice scoop there by Alejandro Ramirez. 1-1 the count. Kept that one from headed to the backstop, so Rogers unable to advance. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs and a runner at first. Owens comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Down low in the dirt for ball 2. As Ramirez keeps it at his feet there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now. 2 balls, 1 strike to count now to Tate Ritchie. Ritchie back in from the right side as Owens comes set in the stretch. Rogers off first, being held on by Grames. The 2-1 pitch. Breaking pitch misses for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. For the Eagles, Coach David Durrell down to the first base coaching box. Coach Chad Payne down at third base. Coach Vieira is positioned in the dugout this year. For the Eagles, the 3-1 pitch to Ritchie. On the outside corner for called strike 2. Now a full count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first base. So Rogers will be off on the pitch. Tate sets himself back in from the right side. Owens comes set in the stretch. Rogers is off the payoff pitch down to the turf for ball 4. And a 2-out walk as runners at first and second now. First walk issued by Owens, and that'll bring up the 9th hitter of the ball game. Of the inning for the Eagles. As Cooper Thomas, the left fielder, will step in from the right side with 2 outs and runners On first and second, 4 runs across in the inning for the Eagles. The first 4 men reach base. The first 4 men score for Georgetown. Owens comes set. The first pitch to Cooper Thomas. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1 to count to the number 9 hitter in the lineup, Cooper Thomas, the left fielder. Jack Kiki back in the on-deck position. The 0-1 pitch. Thomas takes it for a called strike 2. 0-2 the count now. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second here in the top of the first. A 4-run lead for Georgetown. Jalen Owens comes set. A look at second base. The 0-2 pitch. Up and in. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count now to Thomas. The 1-2 pitch. Stays through the zone. High for ball 2. 2-2 the count now. Owens comes set. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Thomas fouls it off. Stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Couple of pass balls and a couple of wild pitches. No errors in the inning for the Elgin defense, but good hitting for the Eagles. A double by Kiki, a triple by Connor Young, a single by Hayden Grooms. The 2-2 pitch. Thomas fouls it off, back out of play down the first base side, and stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes, with 2 outs. Runners at first and second base. Owens comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 2-2 pitch. Down in the dirt, chased it for strike 3. So, Jalen Owens strikes out 3 batters in the inning. But the Eagles get 4 runs if they bat around here in the top of the first. 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. After half an inning, Georgetown 4, Elgin 0. Elgin baseball, Georgetown baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Here live, Elgin High School. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Georgetown puts up 4 runs on 3 hits in the top half of the first. And Braden Curtin goes through his windups, the junior right-hander for Georgetown. Defensively for the Eagles tonight, Thomas in left, Luke Holly in center, Tate Ritchie in right. On the infield, Hayden Grooms at third, Jack Kiki at short, Jalen Hunter at second base, David Fluid at first, Connor Young behind the plate, and Braden Curtin on the mound to start out the ball game for your Georgetown Eagles. And so the Eagles went with this lineup on Friday night defensively with Hunter at second base. Made some good plays over there defensively for the Eagles. And so they start this way. Other than, I guess I am incorrect. They did not start this way defensively. Fluid was on the mound. Curtin was at first base defensively for the Eagles as they started out that ball game on Thursday night. But we go to the bottom of the first inning. And for the Elgin Wildcats, it'll be Tyson McFarland, Fernando Ramirez, and Jalen Owens due up here in the bottom of the first inning as they find themselves down 4-0 here after just a top half of the first. If you're just now joining us, Jack Kiki led it off. He had a 1-2 count and drove the pitch down the third baseline for a leadoff double. Advanced to third on the pass ball and was driven in on a 2-ball, no-strike triple by Connor Young. Colton Crutchfield came in to run for Young for the catcher. Scored on a pass ball. Luke Ollie struck out, but advanced on the drop third strike. Sold second. Was advanced to third on the base hit by Hayden Grooms and then scored on a wild pitch. Grooms came around to end up scoring on a wild pitch of his own for the 4th run in the inning. And so Connor Young will throw it down to first base. Tyson McFarland, the senior shortstop, will step in for the Wildcats. And that is funny. I don't even have him on the online roster. Tyson McFarland, number 5. He is a senior, plays basketball as well, one of the point guards, young athletic guards for the Elgin Wildcats. He'll step in to lead it off against Braden Curtin, who works from the first base side of the rubber for Georgetown here in the bottom of the first. Curtin gets the sign. The first pitch to McFarland stays high for ball 1. McFarland, Fernando Ramirez, and Owens due up here for the Wildcats. Curtin gets the sign. The 1-0 pitch to McFarland. Misses for ball 2. 2-0 the count. The 2-0 pitch to Tyson McFarland. Ground ball pulled down the third baseline. Takes a hop off the dirt, off the glove of Hayden Grooms into foul territory. Grooms will throw to second as McFarland advances. And that'll be a leadoff double for Tyson McFarland. What a hop on the infield dirt. A lot of it. It's not something you're going to see typically off of the turf at Georgetown, but you get it off of the dirt infield. It took a bad hop as soon as it hit the dirt. Took a shot over Hayden Groom's head. He tried to get a glove on it. Nicked off the glove into foul territory. Lots of room on the both foul lines for the both teams. And so McFarland motors around with the first base hit of the ball game to a double. And in steps Fernando Ramirez, the center fielder. Curtin from the stretch now. A look at second base. Turn toward second, but no throw. So Tyson McFarland sees Kiki's leadoff double and matches it with one of his own to start the bottom of the first here for the Wildcats. No outs, a runner at second. Fernando Ramirez, the center fielder, in for the right side. Curtin comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The first pitch. Fly ball sent out into left center field. Luke Colley will drift over to the right, make the call, and he'll get it in. That'll keep McFarland second base. F8 in the book to retire Ramirez for out number 1. And that'll bring up the pitcher, number 24, Jalen Owens. Senior will step in from the right side.
Pitcher number 24, Jalen Owens.
Owens, the pitcher for the Wildcats here tonight. Steps in from the right side. 1 out. A runner at second base here at the bottom of the first for the Wildcats. Ooh, McFarland is a junior. My correction. Thank you. First pitch swinging by Owens. Line drive center field. Holly in. Makes the catch. What a play by Luke Holly. He lays out and makes the catch for out number 2. And McFarland has to motor back to second. So L8 in the book to retire Owens. And with 2 outs and a runner at second, that'll bring up number 28, Malachi Hibbs. Malachi Hibbs, the second baseman, will step in. With 2 outs and a runner at second base. Curtin comes set. A look at second. The first pitch to Hibbs. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Curtin comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Another breaking pitch in there. Hibbs looking for a heater. Takes it for strike 2. 0-2 the count now. Hibbs back in for the right side. McFarland leads off second. Kiki keeping him close there. Shortstop for Georgetown. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. He went around on the check screen, couldn't check it. He's down for strike number 3. And out number 3, and the Wildcats are retired here in the bottom of the first. First strikeout for Curtin. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base for the Wildcats. After 1 complete, Georgetown 4, Elgin 0. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment. Back here at Elgin High School, we go to the top of the second. The Eagles will bring up the top of the lineup again. Here in the top of the second, Kiki, Young, and Holly due up. Jack steps in, 1 for 1. With a double and a run scored in the first inning. Tyson McFarland, the junior. I apologize. And he is fast. You are correct. I'm getting a text from my buddy. That guy is unbelievably fast. He motored down to second base on a ball that most people would have stayed at first for that leadoff double. First pitch to Kiki. Misses for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Jack led off the top of the first with a base hit. Down the third baseline past the diving Barron. And then came in to score the first run. The 1-0 pitch to Kiki hits him. So the first batter hit by a pitch by Jalen Owens puts Kiki on first base to lead off the top of the second for Georgetown. So another leadoff base runner for the Eagles. And that'll bring up Connor Young, who's 1 for 1 in the ball game. An RBI triple in the first for the sophomore catcher. Young will step back in from the left side. Center fielder Fernando Ramirez now shades towards left center field. As Owens comes set in the stretch, a throw to first. And Kiki might have been picked off, but Grames started the tag before the ball was secured in the glove, and it pops out. So Kiki back safely. 4 runs across in the top of the first for Georgetown. They lead it 4-0 after 1. They bat here in the top of the second. A leadoff hit by a pitch, and now Connor Young steps back in from the left side. The first pitch to Young. High and away for ball 1. Connor Young, sophomore catcher, back in from the left side. Kiki leads off first. Grames holds him on there. Owens comes set in the stretch. Throw over to first. Kiki dives back in safely there. Nice scoop by Grames to keep that one from heading down the line. 1 ball, no strike count to Connor Young with no outs and a runner at first here in the top of the second. Kiki takes off to try to steal second. Slides in safely. Young takes the pitch for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Second stolen base of the ball game for the Eagles as Kiki's safe at second. McFarland over to try to grab the throw and apply the tag, but it squirts out of the glove. So now the leadoff man into scoring position with no outs. A 1-1 count to Connor Young. Owens comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 1-1 pitch. Break a pitch in there for a called strike 2. 1-2 now the count to Young. Luke Holly waits on deck for the Eagles here in the top of the second. Sun settling here. Lights starting to take effect for the Georgetown Eagles and the Wildcats. The 1-2 pitch down in the dirt. Good play by the catcher, Alejandro Ramirez, to keep it close by. May have got some help from the umpire's gear. Stays right there around home plate. It's a 2-2 count now. Kiki down at second base. And hit by a pitch, stole second base. No outs here in the top of the second. Connor Young. The 2-2 pitch. Misses low and away. Ball 3. Full count here now to the sophomore catcher. Kiki leads off second. Young back in. Owens a look at second base. The payoff pitch. Connor Young pulls it. Grames at first base to his right. Lays out, snags it, and steps on first base to retire Young for out number 1. 3 unassisted. A nice play there by Jack Grames. But the ground ball to the right side moves Kiki over to third base with 1 out. In steps Luke Holly. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game, but he reached on a drop third strike. Stole second. Was moved up to third on a base hit by Grooms and scored on a wild pitch. Owens back to the windup. The first pitch to Holly. Pulled foul down the third baseline. Past an Ole of Coach Chad Payne. I mean, there's an effort there, but that was kind of Jordan Vieira-esque effort out of Coach Payne. The 0-1 pitch. Misses outside for ball 1. 1-1 to count now to Luke Holly. Hayden Grooms, the third baseman, in the on-deck circle now for Georgetown with 1 out here in the top of the second. Owens from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now to Luke Holly. The 1-2 pitch. In there, called strike 3. Holly down on strikes for out number 2. 4th strikeout for Jalen Owens. And with 2 outs and a runner at third, in steps Hayden Grooms. The third baseman, he's 1 for 1 of the ball game. Singled and scored a run back in the first. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Grooms a deep breath. Now he'll step in from the right side. Owens ready to go from the windup. That pitch down in the dirt. Blocked by the catcher Ramirez. 1-0 the count to Hayden Grooms. 2 pass balls and 2 wild pitches. Combined with 3 base hits and a couple of stolen bases in the first inning. Georgetown put up 4 runs. Trying to get another here in the top of the second. The 1-0 pitch to Hayden Grooms. Fly ball down the first baseline. It's curling into foul territory. And it'll curl out of play into the first base bullpen. 1-1 to count now to Hayden Grooms. David Flewitt in the on-deck circle. Should Grooms be able to extend this inning for the Eagles? Leadoff hit by a pitch of Kiki. Stole second, moved up to third on the ground out by Connor Young. 2 outs and a runner at third. The 1-1 pitch to Grooms. Fouled off, back to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now. To the senior third baseman, Hayden Grooms. Grooms takes his time, now steps back in for the right side. Jalen Owens out of the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5th strikeout of the ball game by Jalen Owens. And that retires the Eagles here in the top of the second. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, Georgetown 4, Elgin 0. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment. Back here live, Elgin High School. We go to the bottom of the second. Null, Grames, and Barron due up here for the Wildcats. Cason Null, the left fielder, will step in for the first time in the ball game. Braden Curtin hit the first inning, allowed one hit, stranded one runner, only threw 8 pitches. The first pitch into Null, pop fly on the infield. Connor Young at home plate, settles under it, makes the catch. Hayden Cruz was there with him. Young started out back in the dirt, ended up down the first baseline about 4 or 5 steps. The ball blowing, moving around with the wind. But a good play there by catcher Connor Young. So P2, 4 out, number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And here comes the first baseman, number 3, Jack Grames. He'll step in. The lefty bats left, throws left, steps in here with 1 out and the base is empty. Curtin from the windup. The first pitch to Grames. Just misses outside for ball 1. In that first inning, the leadoff double allowed to McFarland, but then Curtin struck out Malachi Hibbs to end the inning. Leave the runner stranded. The 1-0 pitch. Just misses high for ball 2. 2-0 to count now to Jack Grames with Bryce Barron, the third baseman, on deck for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the second. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Big cut there by Grames. Grames, the senior. Almost expect you may see him on the mound Friday night over at Georgetown High School for the Wildcats. The 2-1 pitch to Grames. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Evens out the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curtin looks in, gets the sign from the first base side of the rubber. The windup, the 2-2 pitch. Low and inside for ball 3, and the count runs full now to Jack Grames here in the bottom of the second with 1 out and the base is empty for the Wildcats. They trail 4-0 to your Georgetown Eagles. Curtin from the windup. The payoff pitch. The line drive hit down the right field line. It's going to be down for a base hit. Tate Ritchie on his horse gets over there, cuts it off. He'll throw it in. He gets let go. The tag at second is not at times. It goes off of Grames. So a 1-out double there by the first baseman, Jack Grames, second hit of the ball game for the Wildcats. Their second hit of the ball game. And now with 1 out and a runner at second, in steps Bryce Barron, the third baseman. He'll step in from the right side. Barron, the junior utility pitcher, steps in here. Curtin in the stretch, a look at second base. Turn to second, he'll throw. To the glove of Jack Kiki. Barron back in from the right side. Curtin looks in, gets the pitch, and now comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The first pitch to Barron. Misses outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count to the third baseman, Bryce Barron. On deck, the DH, number 19, Joaquin Rodriguez. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Inside for ball 2. As Barron dances out of the way of being hit by that pitch. Breeze continues to blow right to left, from right field to left field here at Elgin High School. Here in the bottom of the second. A 1-out double has Grames at second base. Barron back in. Curtin comes set. The 2-0 pitch. Off the fist into foul territory, but unable to get to it is Curtin, so it just falls harmlessly for strike 1. 2-1 to count. In the Bermuda Triangle between first catcher and pitcher. Down the first baseline foul. So Barron stays alive. 2 balls, 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. A one-out double by Grames to right field. Now Barron back in for the right side. Curtin looks in, gets the pitch, and comes set. Look at second base. The 2-1 pitch. Misses outside for ball 3. 3-1 the count now to Bryce Barron. Elgin Wildcats softball going on behind us in the 5th inning. Marble Falls leads at 4-1 over the Wildcats. Curtin comes set here. The 3-1 pitch to Barron. Fly ball in the infield. Grooms will call for it and call off his pitcher Curtin to make the catch. Nice play by Jack Kiki. He heads over and covers third. That doesn't allow Grames to advance. So P5 of the book to retire Barron for out number 2. That'll bring up number 19, Joaquin Rodriguez. With 2 outs and a runner at second. The DH for the Wildcats. Big fella steps in from the right side. It's an open stance as Curtin looks in and gets the pitch from the catcher, Connor Young. Comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Rodriguez. Ground ball to third. Grooms builds it on a hop. The throw across the diamond in time. And the Wildcats are retired here in the bottom of the second. 5-3 on the putout to retire Rodriguez and the Wildcats. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on. After 2 complete, Georgetown 4, Elgin 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Stay with us here on the SHN Sports Network. And back here at Elgin High School, we go to the top of the 3rd. The Eagles will bring up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Fluid, Rogers, and Curtin. Fluid steps in to lead it off. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out to Grames at first base. Back in inning number 1. Owens from the windup, the first pitch to Fluid. Fly ball, right side of the infield. First baseman Grames will call for it and make the catch for out number 1. P3 in the book to retire Fluid for out number 1. And in steps the DH, number 14, Braden Rogers. Rogers 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out back in the first inning, but reached base on the drop third strike. Moved up to second base on the walk of Tate Ritchie, was left stranded. Steps in here with 1 out, and the base is empty. The first pitch misses low for ball 1. Braden Curtin, the pitcher, on deck for Georgetown here in the top of the 3rd. The 1-0 pitch to Rogers. Misses. No, it is in there for a called strike. That one caught the bottom of the strike zone. 1-1 to count now to the DH Rogers. The 1-1 pitch. Up and in. They check down to first base, say he did not go. More of a defensive get out of the way on that high inside fastball. 2-1 to count to Rogers. Owens from the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Breaking pitch. It's in there for a called strike. In fact, that one might have stayed on the top part of the zone, but called strike 2 and 2-2 count now. And here's the 2-2 pitch. That one's off the hands of Rogers. for ball 3. 3-2 the count. So now a full count with one out and the base is empty to Rogers. Owens from the windup, the payoff pitch. Line drive hit into right field. It's a one-out single for Braden Rogers, the DH. Good piece of hitting there by Rogers. Fourth base hit of the ball game for the Eagles. So with one out and a runner at first, in steps Braden Curtin, the pitcher. He's 0 for 1 of the ball game. Flew out to right field back in the first inning. Steps in here from the right side. Tate Ritchie moves to the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Here in the top of the third. 4 runs in the first for Georgetown. They lead it 4-0. Here in game 1 of this best-of-2 series. It'll continue on Friday night at Eagle Field. Georgetown High School. Owens comes set in the stretch. First pitch to Curtin. Just misses low and outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Braden Curtin, the pitcher. Back in from the right side. Owens comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled off back to the backstop. 1-1 the count. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the third. Rogers leads off first, held on by Grames. Owens comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Ball driven. Foul back out of play down the first baseline. 1 ball, 2 strike count now to Braden Curtin for the Eagles. Curtin back in from the right side. Owens comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Down in the dirt for ball 2. Nice block there by Alejandro Ramirez. He's earned his pay tonight, his NIL dollars. Not in high school, but if he had them, he'd earn them tonight. Lots of balls down in the dirt. Good job by Ramirez. The 2-2 pitch to Curtin. Fisted off down the first baseline. Curls foul off the fence. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. 51 pitches through 2 innings thrown by Jalen Owens. 35 in the first, 16 in the second, as he works here in the top of the third against the Eagles. Owens comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Foul tip strike into the glove of the catcher for out number 2. 6th strikeout of the ball game for Jalen Owens. So with 2 outs here in the inning, that'll bring up Tate Ritchie. Tate will step in from the right side. He's 0 for 0 in the ball game. Back in the first inning, walked. Left stranded at first base. Steps in here with 2 outs. And a runner at first base. A 1-out single by Rogers. He stays at first base, being held on by Grames. Owens comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Ritchie. Outside corner for called strike 1. Owens a look in, gets the sign, and comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. That one gets away from the catcher. And Rogers will move up to second base on that pass ball. 1-1 to count to Tate Ritchie now. Third pass ball of the ball game. Going along with 2 wild pitches. Have hurt the Wildcats. A 1-1 count to Tate Ritchie. Owens comes set, the 1-1 pitch. And breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 1-2 to count now. Tate settles back in for the right side. Jalen Owens comes set in the stretch. A look at second. The 1-2 pitch. Up and over the head of Tate Ritchie for ball 2. 2-2 the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the third. A runner on second base. Owens comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Eagles are down here in the top of the third. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on. After 2.5, Georgetown 4, Elgin 0. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment. back to Elgin High School as we go to the bottom of the third. The Wildcats bring up the 9-1 and 2 hitters, Flores, McFarland, and Ramirez. Flores, the right fielder, steps in from the right side. A sophomore here for the Wildcats in the number 9 slot. Braden Curtin threw 2 innings. Has faced 8 batters, allowed 2 hits, struck out 1. Stranded 2 runners and thrown 21 pitches in 2 innings. As he works here in the bottom of the third. From the windup, the first pitch, Flores swinging. Out into shallow center field, a leadoff base hit for the sophomore right fielder. So for the second time in 3 innings, the Wildcats have the leadoff man aboard with a base hit. With Flores on first base, the Wildcats go back to the top of the lineup. The shortstop, Tyson McFarland, will step in from the right side. 1 for 1 in the ball game, doubled and left stranded in the first. Curtin moves to the stretch, stays on the first base side of the rubber. Looks over at first, now will step off. And we'll all reset. That's not construction going on behind you. That's the Marble Falls Mustangs softball team making racket. And the softball game going on right behind us. Throw to first. Flores dives back in safely. It's in the 6th inning, 5-1. Marble Falls leads it. Marble Falls up to bat in the top of the 6th. With a 4-run lead, 5-1. The baseball side, it's a 4-0 lead for Georgetown. The Wildcats here in the bottom of the third have the leadoff man aboard on a single. And now the first pitch to Tyson McFarland. Misses low for ball 1. McFarland hit a shot down the third baseline and took a bad hop off the dirt. Ricocheted off the glove of Hayden Grooms into foul territory. McFarland flew around to second base but was left stranded there. Now he'll take time and step out and reset. McFarland, at least a 2-sport star here at Elgin High School. Great basketball player. Starting shortstop as a junior here for Elgin. As he gets ready to step back in. No outs, a 1-0 count. Runner at first base. Flores held on by Fluid. Curtin comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Flores off and running. Ground ball pulled foul on the hit and run. McFarland now 1-1 count. Flores will head back to first base. Here in the bottom of the third. 4-0. Georgetown leads it. Thanks to a 4-run top of the first. 4 runs on 3 hits. A couple of wild pitches. A couple of pass balls. The Eagles batted around in the top half of the first and lead it 4-0. Flores leads off first. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Sails high for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Throw over to first quickly. Flores dives back in. 2-ball, 1-strike count to Tyson McFarland, the leadoff man for the Wildcats, batting here in the bottom of the third. Curtin comes set. Another throw over. Flores dives back in safely. Two balls, 1 strike to McFarland as he gets back in the box from the right side. Curtin to look in. Now comes set in the stretch. The 2-1 pitch hits him. So the first 2 men in the inning reach base for the Wildcats. First batter hit by a pitch by Curtin. That'll bring up the center fielder for Nando Ramirez. But not before we get a visit from pitching coach Chad Payne. We'll take a quick timeout. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. visit there from pitching coach Chad Payne. And now we get ready to go back to action here in the bottom of the third. Leadoff man here in the bottom of the third, the number 9 hitter for the Wildcats. Single to center field, and then a hit by a pitch to McFarland. Has runners at first and second and no outs. The first pitch to the center fielder, Ramirez. He squares the bunt, pulls it back and takes it. For a called strike, 0-1 the count. Fernando Ramirez, the center fielder, 0 for 1 of the ball game, flew out to center field. Back in the first inning as he stands in here. No balls, 1 strike. No outs and runners at first and second. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch, squares the bunt, misses at the curveball. So an 0-2 count now to Fernando Ramirez with Jalen Owens waiting on deck for the Wildcats. No balls, 2 strikes. Curtin gets the sign, comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 0-2 pitch. Sails it high for ball 1. 1-2 to count now. 2 runners on with no outs here in the bottom of the third. The leadoff single, then a hit by a pitch. Curtin comes set. Throw to second. Flores just under the tag, safely at second. Sunset. Beautiful night here at Elgin High School. Curtin comes set. Look at second base. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Curtin tonight. And that's out number 1 for the Wildcats here in the inning. That'll bring up the pitcher, Jalen Owens. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He lined out to a diving center fielder, Luke Holly, back in the first inning. Steps in here with 1 out and runners on first and second. Curtin, the long look in. We'll get the sign from Connor Young. Comes set in the stretch. Look at second base. Turn to second, but the throw was up the third baseline and it went off of Flores. Over to the second baseman, Jalen Hunter. He's safe at second base. Throw on top of the bag. Might have had Flores as they caught him leaning. And now Owens back in from the right side. McFarland off first. Flores off second. Jalen Owens in the box, the first pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Malachi Hibbs, the second baseman, on deck for the Wildcats. Here in the bottom of the third. Curtin comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Foul tip into the glove of Connor Young for strike 1. 1-1 to count. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Line drive. Shot pulled down the left field line. Well out of play for a long strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now to the pitcher, Jalen Owens. With 1 out and a runner on first and second. Curtin comes set. Look at second base. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Third strikeout for Curtin. Number 2. That'll be up the cleanup hitter, number 28, Malachi Hibbs. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. One of the 3 strikeout victims on the night for the Wildcats. As he steps in here with 2 outs and a runner on first and second. The Wildcats trying to claw back into this one, trailing by 4. Curtin comes set in the stretch. A look at second. The first pitch to Hibbs. Fouled off back to the backstop. 0-1 the count. To the cleanup hitter, Malachi Hibbs. Hibbs back in from the right side. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. That one stays up and in for ball one. 1-1 the count now. Kason Knoll, the left fielder, on deck for the Wildcats. Should Hibbs be able to extend this bottom half of the third? Curtin comes set in the stretch. Peek back at second base. The 1-1 pitch. Up and in. Ball two. 2-1 the count. Two balls and a strike. To the second baseman Hibbs. Curtin comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Breaking pitch. Pulled foul down the third baseline. And the count goes even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For the second baseman, Malachi Hibbs. Flores down at second, McFarland at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Hibbs ready to go. Curtin comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch popped up right side of the infield, but it is going to curl out of play. And Hibbs stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Curtin comes set in the stretch. Look at second base. The 2-2 pitch. Foul tip, strike 3 into the glove of Connor Young. And after giving up a leadoff single and a hit by pitch, Braden Curtin strikes out the side to retire the Wildcats. Here in the bottom of the third, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on after 3 complete. Georgetown 4, Elgin 0. Georgetown baseball, presented by the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Booster Club, returns in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. We're back for the top of the 4th inning. Georgetown will bring up the 9-1 and 2 hitters. Cooper Thomas, Jack Kiki, and Connor Young due up here in the top of the 4th. Cooper Young will step in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out swinging in the first as he leads things off here in the top of the 4th for the Eagles. Jalen Owens for his 4th inning of work from the windup. The first pitch to Thomas. Misses low for ball 1. Through 3 innings pitched, Owens has allowed 4 runs, 4 hits, struck out 7, walked 1, hit 1, and 2 wild pitches. Thomas back in, the 1-0 pitch to Cooper. Fouled off. Down towards the first base dugout, 1-1 the count. To the sophomore left fielder, Cooper Thomas. Thomas back in, the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back into the screen, 1-2 the count now. So a 1-ball, 2-strike count now to Cooper Thomas. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch misses for ball 2. 2-2 the count now. Chad Kiki on deck. Connor Young in the hole for Georgetown here in the top of the 4th. Owens gets the sign from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Thomas down on strikes for out number 1. 8th strikeout of the ball game for Jalen Owens. Here in the top of the 4th. Jack Kiki will step in. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Doubled in the first and scored a run. Hit by a pitch and left stranded at third, back in the second. Shortstop will step in from the right side with 1 out. The base is empty here in the top of the 4th. Owens from the windup. The first pitch to Kiki. Fouled off back to the screen. 0-1 the count. A lot different pace in the top half of the inning. Jalen Owens ready to go once the Eagle batter's back in the box. Kiki set. Owens from the windup. The 0-1 pitch. Low and outside in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Thursday night, Camp Brightside, 6:45, 7 o'clock start. The Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Coach Vieira, the freshman JV Players of the Week. 1-1 pitch, misses low, ball 2. 2-1 the count now to Jack Kiki. A couple of varsity players will join us. We'll talk Eagle baseball. There at Camp Brightside, beautiful location, facility. Great hosts of our Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. The 2-1 pitch, fouled off, back to the screen. 2-2 the count now to Jack Kiki. And then Friday night, back at Eagle Field at Georgetown High School, the Wildcats will come in for game number 2 in this 2-game series. 7 p.m. first pitch. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kiki strikes out for out number 2. Strikeout number 9 in the ball game for Jalen Owens. And in steps number 23, Connor Young, the catcher. He's 1 for 2. RBI triple in the first. Rounded out on a shot to first base. Fielded by Grames, diving to his right. Back in the second. Owens, the first pitch to Young with 2 outs and the base is empty. Misses for ball 1. A 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1. At least 2 strikeouts in every inning so far in the ball game for Owens. The 1-1 pitch. Young takes it on the inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count. He had 3 strikeouts in the first inning. 2 of them were drop third strikes that allowed base runners to reach. Then struck out Thomas for the last out of the inning. And 2 strikeouts in the second, 2 in the third, 2 here in the fourth. 2-1 pitch, misses low for ball 3. 3-1 now the count to Connor Young with Luke Holly on deck. Should Young be able to extend the inning? Connor, the lefty, back in, ready to go. Jalen Owens from the first base side of the rubber from the windup, the 3-1 pitch. Called strike 2. So now a full count to Connor Young with 2 outs and the base is empty here in the top of the fourth. Owens from the windup, the payoff pitch. Connor Young will foul it off, back out of play down the third baseline. Stay alive in the at-bat. 35 pitches in the first, 16 in the second, 18 in the third for Jalen Owens. 69 pitches through 3 innings. Seventeenth pitch of the inning is a ball. So Connor Young will motor down to first base. So the base on balls with 2 outs here in the fourth. And that'll bring Colton Crutchfield on to run. For the catcher, Connor Young. Only the second walk issued by Owens on the night. And in steps Luke Holly with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Holly 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out, but reached base in the first inning on a drop third strike. Came around to score a run. Struck out swinging in the second. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at first base. With Hayden Grooms on deck, should Holly be able to extend the inning here in the top of the fourth for Georgetown? Owens comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Holly. Misses low and outside. Nice scoop by Ramirez. Keep Crutchfield in at first base. 1-0 the count to Holly. Luke back in from the right side as Owens takes a peek at first. Now comes set in the stretch. Throw over to first base. Crutchfield back easily there. But then if that's not enough baseball with the coaches show on Thursday, baseball Friday night at Georgetown, how about Saturday? Baseball back at Eagle Field. Liberty Hill will come playing. The Georgetown Eagles, they're at home at Eagle Field on Saturday. Off and running is Crutchfield. The throw down, not in time as Crutchfield still second base. The 1-0 pitch was called ball 2, so 2-0 count to Holly. Third stolen base of the ball game for Eagle base runners. First of the night for Crutchfield. Colton now leads off second. Holly back in for the right side. A 2-ball, no strike count with 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 2-1 the count now to Luke Holly. Hayden Grooms on deck. Should Holly be able to extend the inning? Owens comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled off right at the microphone. 2-2 now the count. That was right at it. That was loud. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count now to Luke Holly with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Here in the top of the fourth, a 4-run lead for the Georgetown Eagles. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit out in between short and third into left field. Crutchfield around third. He's being waved home. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's going to be, should have been interference on the catcher. He didn't have the ball, was blocking the plate. But Ramirez can't hold on to it. Crutchfield scores the 5th run of the ball game. It's an RBI single for Luke Holly, who advances to second on the throw. Good piece of hitting there by Luke. Scores Crutchfield from second base. So the 5th run of the ball game for the Eagles.
Third baseman, number 16, Hayden Grooms.
On that RBI single by Luke Holly. Luke down to second on the throw home, and in steps Hayden Grooms. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Correction, he's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Singled and scored a run in the first. Struck out swinging in the second. Hayden steps in with 1 run across here in the inning. 5-0 lead. Luke Holly down at second base with 2 outs. Throw to second base. Holly dives back in safely. Slap tag by Hibbs, not in time as Holly back quickly. Hibbs and Holly talk there at second base as Hibbs goes back. Luke will lead off. Grooms back up for the right side as Owens comes set in the stretch. First pitch to Hayden. Swinging. Ball hit to the left side. Left field. It's back. It's off the fence. A 2-out RBI double for Hayden Grooms, about 5 feet short of a tank. Puts it off the left field wall. And with 2 outs, the Eagles have put up 2 runs here in the inning and lead it 6-0.
Double off the wall. Drives in another run.
An RBI double for Hayden Grooms, his 2nd hit of the night. That'll bring up David Fluid.
Places there to make it a runner still on second with 2 outs.
So Hayden changes place with Holly. And here comes a visit from Coach Jason Bourgeois of Elgin, and we'll take it with them. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. 2 runs across, and Georgetown leads it 6-0. Stay with us. Eagle baseball will continue in a moment. All right, back to action we go. Thought it was a call to the bullpen, but it wasn't. They stay put, and in steps David Fluid. Owens from the stretch. First pitch to Fluid. Misses outside for ball one. Fluid over 2 in the ball game. Ground ball shot to Grames at first, back at the first. A pop out to Grames in the second. The 1-0 pitch to Fluid. Line drive past Grames down the right field line. That's going to be extra bases for Fluid. He's around first. That'll score Grooms from second easily. And it's 7-0 Georgetown. David Fluid rips a shot down the first base line past Grooms for an RBI double. And the Eagles have put up 3 runs with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Back-to-back-to-back base hits with 2 outs. And Grooms and Fluid switch spots. As Grooms cruises in from second base. Fluid down to second on the RBI double. And into hit comes Braden Rogers. First pitch down to the dirt, ball 1. Rogers 1 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out back in the first, but reached base on the drop third strike. Singled and left stranded in the third. The 1-0 pitch from Owens. Not going to be in time. It's a throw down to second. Fluid just under the tag from Hibbs. A nice move from Jalen Owens on the spin move and throw to second base, but not in time. So 1 ball, no strikes to Rogers with 2 outs and a runner at second. Here in the top of the 4th, 3 runs across, a 7-0 lead for Georgetown. The 1-0 pitch misses up and away, ball 2. So 2 quick outs on back-to-back strikeouts by Owens. And then a walk, a single, a double, and a double. Have plated 3 runs here in the top of the 4th. The 2-0 pitch to Rogers. Low and inside, ball 3, 3-0 the count. On deck, the pitcher, Braden Curtin for Georgetown. Should Rogers be able to extend the inning here in the top of the 4th? 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, a runner at second. Fluid leads off as Owens comes set in the stretch. 3-0 pitch. Down low in the dirt. A throw down to second behind Fluid, but he'll be back in time. And it's a 2-out walk. Runners on first and second. 3rd walk of the ball game issued by Owens. Activity down the third baseline in the Elgin Wildcat bullpen. And in steps Braden Curtin, and that's going to be a call to the bullpen as Coach Bourgeois comes out of the dugout for the Wildcats for the 2nd time in the inning. We'll take this time out with them, set the roster and the lineup defensively for the Wildcats when we come back live here on the SHN Sports Network.
Yeah, I'm the big homie. For those of y'all that don't know me, one and only, name another rapper this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic then Ricky Bobby shaking bake Brody. Pin rolling, never sleep, I just keep going. Hit my peak now, I just started like my name Tommy. Had a vision, this was destined for my life story. Bible by my side, I keep it like a gun on me. War ready and we ain't afraid to get bloody. Told me I should quit my day job, that's funny. Hate will always elevate me, I'ma keep showing. Out and selling, record spinning, it ain't never slowing. Take the stakes, take the crown, I don't need it, got the sound. I'ma be the king forever, even when they count me out. Favorite rapper, raise a bar from the ground. Taking risks you never dreamed of, get my name up out your mouth. Don't talk, it's silent on the floor, kings walk. We gon' drag your body through the door in shock. How I got 'em asking for a tour, man, stop. I'ma need a second, maybe more. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic then Ricky Bobby shaking bake Brody. Independent on my own, I'ma stand. Taking handouts, not for me, I like the back of my demands. Bet against me, I'ma need that money coming in advance. I play with God's hand, you ain't never stood a chance. Take over your playlist, I'm that dude, set the mood. Know I've always been on top, I play it cool, nothing new. They said I should flex and then bring in the juice. School the rules, came and stuck up the game and we running fools. On the loose, I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic then Ricky Bobby shaking. I can translate it on my own. Don't worry, I don't need Rosetta Stone. I finally found her. Music made it my home, and now we up like, look how far we have grown. Yeah, I can translate it on my own. Don't worry, I don't need Rosetta Stone. I finally found her. Music made it my home, and now we up like, look how far we have grown. I can. Young boy running to the same old path. Ain't got a car, no key, no gas. Chains lane, no kick, same as ass. Everybody follow win and the boy get past. Now we gotta find where the winners be at. It caught trend, stole flows, got a pin in the pad. Backtrack, he's locked and I'm out of the ass. World shine bright, flames start to dash. That's how it go. They go to grace, had to make it they own. Make it the tapes in a miner for gold. Seen it go plot when the be what they own. Put me in charge of my artistry, just like an artery. You know that blood is gonna flow. Ain't if elected, put him in shot. Be gonna stop, defibrillate and go. Translate it on my own. Don't worry, I don't need Rosetta Stone. I finally found her. Music made it my home, and now we up like, look how far we have grown. Yeah, I can translate it on my own. Don't worry, I don't need Rosetta Stone. I finally found her. Music made it my home, and now we up like.
So back to action as Nunez comes in. First pitch, Braden Curtin gives it a ride to center fielder. Fernando Ramirez backs up and makes the catch for out number 3. So one pitch, one out for the reliever, Nunez, who came on for the Wildcats. But the Eagles put up 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 3.5, Georgetown 7, Elgin 0. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Georgetown leads it 7-0. 4 runs in the first, 3 in the top half of the 4th inning. Curtin on for his 4th inning of work will face off against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Nall, Grames, and Barron.
The president of the school, Beth Waltershot, and her husband. Thank y'all for coming.
Through 3 innings pitched by Curtin. He's allowed 3 hits, struck out 4, hit 1 batter. He's thrown 40 pitches in 3 innings. 8 in the first, 13 in the second, 19 in the third. Faces off against Kason Nall, the left fielder. Fouled off back to the backstop for the first strike of the at-bat. 0 for 1 in the ballgame is Nall. Popped out to the catcher, Connor Young, back of the 2nd inning. So 0 for 1 in the ballgame as he leads things off here in the bottom of the 4th for Elgin. The 0-1 pitch, down in the dirt. 4-1, 1-1 to count. Kason Nall, the left fielder, back in from the right side. Curtin from the windup, first base side of the rubber. Here in the bottom of the 4th, the 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch misses for ball 2, 2-1 to count now. 9-1. Marble Falls leads the Lady Wildcats in the 7th inning. Back behind us in softball. The 2-1 pitch, driven right center field. Lucali on his horse. Chases it down to the left center field gap for out number 1. F8 in the book to retire and all. And that'll bring up the first baseman, number 3, Jack Grames. Grames, 1 for 1 in the ball game. Doubled back in the second, was left stranded there. He steps in here with no one on base and 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Curtin from the windup. The lefty Grames ready to go. The first pitch. Misses for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Eagles remain the same defensively here in the bottom of the 4th. As Curtin readies the 1-0 pitch to Jack Grames. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. You joined us later in the ball game. The Eagles defensively. Thomas in left, Holly in center, Ritchie in right for the outfield. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Jack Grames. Oops. On the infield, Grooms at third, Kiki at short, Jalem Hunter at second, Fluid at first. With Connor Young, the sophomore, behind the plate. Curtin's 1-2 pitch. Just misses for ball 2. 2-2 the count now. But the junior right-hander, Braden Curtin, throwing well tonight, only allowing 3 hits, striking out 4. Kept the Wildcats off the board. The 2-2 pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. What a shot there. As Curtin branded the corner for his 5th strikeout of the ball game. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, and that'll bring up Bryce Barron, the third baseman. He's 0 for 1 of the ball game. Flew out on a pop out to Hayden Grooms, the third baseman, back behind the mound. Back at inning number 2. Steps in here with 2 outs and the base is empty. First pitch swinging, fouled it off right above the mic for strike 1. I don't know if it's loud on the broadcast, but it is loud in my microphone, my headphones, as that is hitting right at the microphone. The 0-1 pitch skips in back to the backstop for ball 1. 1-1 to count now. Joaquin Rodriguez, the DH, getting his steps in here, chasing down the balls behind home plate. 1-1 to count now. To Bryce Barron, the third baseman. Breaking pitch in there, a beauty from Braden Curtin. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 2 outs, base is empty here in the bottom of the 4th. Curtin gets the sign from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Misses low and away for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. To Bryce Barron, the third baseman. For the Wildcats here in the bottom of the 4th. The wind's starting to die down a little bit. Coming out of the south. The 2-2 pitch. Outside corner just misses for ball 3. Coach Pierre talks to the home plate umpire. So a full count now to Bryce Barron. With 2 outs and the base is empty. Curtin from the windup gets the sign from Connor Young. The payoff pitch. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. And the Wildcats are retired in order here in the bottom of the 4th. 6 strikeouts tonight for Braden Curtin. And we go to the top of the 5th. 7-0. Georgetown leads it over Elgin. Stay tuned. Eagle Baseball continues in a moment.
Royalty, put blame on me. Hate my trends. Word up OG. Watch how you talking your tone. What I be on? You cannot make me a clone. You already know T versus T. Tagging the limits won't fit the criteria. Hearing hysteria, saying American. Hang around you and your crew's embarrassing. Take that sneak post down, flexing on me is hilarious. Don't take it from me, Tennessee where I've been. I am the foretelling by the masses, read by the school of my saber and pen. Put down the mic and he calling me in. Can I receive and do it for them? You living and breathing within.
Royalty. Ty Griffin bringing us back there, son of Coach Chuck Griffin, athletic coordinator, Georgetown High School, allowing us to bring you some of the royalty music. The 8-9-1 hitters do it for Georgetown here in the top of the fifth. Richie, Thomas, and Kiki. Tate steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Face off against the lefty. Mason Nunez. That one stays up and in for ball one. Want to know the count to Tate Ritchie, the right fielder, from the right side. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 1-1 the count. Defensively for the Wildcats after the pitching change. Nunez goes to the mound. Jalen Owens goes from the mound to shortstop. And McFarland comes off the field. Defensively for the Wildcats. Ritchie takes a quick timeout, steps out, sets himself. A 1-1 count as Tate leads off the top of the fifth. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled off back towards the screen down the first baseline. 1-2 the count now to Tate Ritchie. Cooper Thomas on deck. Jack Kiki in the hole for Georgetown. 7 runs through 4 for Georgetown. They lead it 7-0. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch just misses for ball 2. Evens out the count. 2-2 now to Tate. Nunez, a senior lefty, from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. A ball fought off into right field. It's a leadoff base hit for Tate Ritchie into right field. Another hit for Georgetown. They're 8th of the ball game. The final numbers on Jalen Owens on the mound. 3 2/3 innings, 98 pitches thrown. Gave up 7 runs on 7 hits, struck out 9, walked 3, hit 1 with 2 wild pitches. And now Nunez, he came on in the top of the 4th, threw 1 pitch and got Curtin to fly out to center field as he works here in his first full inning of relief. In the top of the 5th, the throw to first. Ritchie dives back in safely without a tag. Now the chatter starting to pick up out of the first base dugout for the Georgetown Eagles. Cooper Thomas steps in, the number 9 hitter, the left fielder. 0 for 2 in the ballgame with 2 strikeouts. Nunez in the stretch. First pitch to Thomas, up and in, ball 1. I want to know the count to Coop. Tate down at first. The leadoff base hit to right field for Tate. The 1-0 pitch misses outside, ball 2, 2-0 to Cooper Thomas. Lead off by Ritchie, held on by Grames. The 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch, 2-1 to count now. Thomas takes his time, now gets back in the box. Nunez comes set in the stretch. Throw to first, Ritchie dives back in. Out attack from Grames. Nunez in the stretch, comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Cooper Thomas drives it right back up the middle. It'll be a base hit. Into center field, back-to-back singles to start the inning. 9th hit of the ball game for Georgetown batters. Ritchie moves up to second base on the single by Cooper Thomas. And that'll bring up Jack Kiki, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Kiki doubled and scored a run in the first, hit by a pitch and left straight in the second. Struck out swinging in the 4th. Kiki steps in here with no outs and runners on first and second. Georgetown would love to open it up here. Trying to make it a 10-run game. First pitch, up and away. Breaking pitch. Stayed away. The 1-0 the count to the shortstop, Jack Kiki. Kiki back in from the right side. Nunez comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. This is low on the outside corner for ball two. 2-0 the count. With Connor Young, the catcher, on deck for Georgetown. No outs. Runners on first and second. Back-to-back singles to start the top of the fifth. Nunez comes set. A look at second. The 2-0 pitch to Kiki. Up and away. Ball three. 3-0 count now to Jack Kiki, the shortstop. Kiki ready to go. Nunez comes set in the stretch. The 3-0 pitch. That sails high. Ball four. The bases are loaded with no outs here in the top of the fifth. First walk issued by Nunez. Fourth walk to Eagle batters tonight in the ball game. And in steps Connor Young, the catcher. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. An RBI triple in the first. Grounded out in the second. Walked and scored a run in the fourth. Well, walked in the fourth. His courtesy runner scored the run, Colton Crutchfield. Coach Jason Bourgeois will come out for a visit for the Wildcats. We'll join them here in the top of the fifth. Eagles lead at 7-0. Stay with us. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Here at Elgin High School. Go to the bullpen here in the top of the fifth with the bases loaded and no outs. So in the pitching change when Nunez came in, Flores left right field. McFarland went to right field defensively. Now Flores comes back in on the field as the relief pitcher. He went to the bullpen and started warming up. So Nunez comes off the mound defensively, but everything else stays the same. Nolan left, Fernando Ramirez in center, McFarland in right. Barron at third, Owens at short, Hibbs at second, Grames at first. Alejandro Ramirez behind the plate, and now Trey Flores on the mound in relief here for the Wildcats. Nunez leaves the ball game with a third of an inning plus thrown, 14 pitches thrown, responsible for all 3 runners on base. So we won't close the books on Nunez just yet. Flores will work out of the windup to Connor Young, the left-handed hitting catcher. The first pitch, Connor Young takes it for a called strike one. 0-1 the count to Connor Young. RBI triple in the first. Grounded out in the third, walked in the fourth. The 0-1 pitch. It's on the inside corner for a called strike two. 0-2 the count. No outs and the bases loaded. Back-to-back singles and a walk have loaded them up for Georgetown to start the top of the fifth. The 0-2 pitch. Connor Young fouls it off of himself. Catches it, throws it out to Flores. Count remains 0-2. As Connor Young stays alive in the at-bat, the lefty catcher steps back in. Throws right, bats left. Flores from the windup, first base side of the rubber. The 0-2 pitch to Connor Young. Ground ball hit out towards short. Owens up with it, flipped to second for one, but can't get it out of his glove. Is Hibbs, so only one out. It's an RBI. Fielder's choice.
It's the fielder's choice, force out at second base.
For Connor Young. So Kiki erased on the 6-4. Fielder's choice for out number one. It scores Tate Ritchie from third. Cooper Thomas moves up to third base. Connor Young will have a courtesy runner. I believe it'll be number 9, Colton Crutchfield. We'll check that as Luke Holly steps in. Colton Crutchfield down at first base. Luke 1 for 3 in the ball game. First pitch here. Just misses for ball one. Luke struck out in the first inning, but reached on a drop third strike, scored a run. Struck out swinging in the second, singled, an RBI single in the fourth, scored a run there as well. Steps in here with one out and runners on the corners. 8-0. The 1-0 pitch misses high. The throw down is not cut off, and it gets into center field. That'll allow Cooper Thomas to score. And Crutchfield will move up to second base, or to third base. So 4 stolen bases on the night for Georgetown base runners. But that throw gets past the shortstop, Owens, into center field. That'll be the first error of the ball game that allows Crutchfield to move up to third. So he gets the stolen base and an error on the catcher, Ramirez. Thomas scores on that error. And it's now 9-0. 2 runs charged to Luke Holly. Gets a hold of one, sends it to center field. And that's going to be enough. A sac fly to score the 10th run of the ball game. A good piece of hitting there by Luke Holly as he hits the sac fly that scores Crutchfield from third and makes it 10-0 now for Georgetown. All 3 of those runs are charged to Nunez, so we can close the book on him now as he's allowed 3 runs in a third of an inning plus. And Hayden Grooms will step in with the bases empty and 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. F8 in the book on the out of Luke Holly for out number 2. But that scores Crutchfield from second, so another RBI for Luke Holly on that sac fly. Hayden Groom steps in. The first pitch from Flores. Swing and a miss, strike one. Grooms 2 for 3 on the night. Single and a run scored in the first. Struck out in the second, an RBI double in the fourth. Hayden steps back in for the right side. The 0-1 pitch from Flores. Ground ball hit out towards third. Tough hop fielded by Barron. The throw in time. And a nice play there from Bryce Barron. 5-3 on the putout to retire Grooms and the Eagles. Here in the top of the fifth. But not before Georgetown able to pick up 3 runs on to 3 hits, 1 error, and no runners left on base. After 4.5, Georgetown 10, Elgin 0. Georgetown 3 outs away from winning it in a run rule situation here at Elgin High School. Stay with us. Eagle Baseball continues in a moment. And we go to the bottom of the fifth. Elgin down to their final 3 outs. They've got to score here to keep it from being a run roll. And they'll bring up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Rodriguez, Flores, and McFarland. Curtin on for his 5th inning of work. The first pitch to Rodriguez. Misses for ball 1. Joaquin Rodriguez, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out to Grooms at 3rd. Back in the 2nd inning. Curtin from the windup. The 1-0 pitch to Rodriguez. Foul tip into the glove of Connor Young for strike 1. 1-1 the count. Through 4 innings of work, Curtin has scattered 3 hits, struck out 6, hit 1. He's only thrown 55 pitches through 4 innings. The 1-1 pitch to Rodriguez. Ground ball off the fist. Grooms will charge. Fields it, throws on the run. In time for out number 1. 5-3 on the putout. So 5-3 for out number 1, and that'll bring up Trey Flores, the pitcher. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. He's led off with a single in the 3rd. Steps in here with the bases empty and 1 out. Singled and left stranded at 2nd. Back in the 3rd inning was Flores. First pitch here. Curveball in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Thursday night, Camp Brightside. Love to see Jory Erickson out there. Haven't seen him in a while. Oh, the 0-1 pitch in there. Called strike 2. Camp Brightside, the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, Thursday night. Come join us 6:45, 7 o'clock. We'll kick it off. Talk to Coach Vieira and some of the Eagle baseball players. The 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Strikeout number 7 for Braden Curtin. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to strikeout Flores for out number 2. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, Tyson McFarland will step in. He's 1 for 1 in the ballgame. Doubled back in the 1st, hit by a pitch and left stranded in the 3rd. Steps in here as the last out for the Wildcats to try to get on the board and keep it from a run rule. First pitch, breaking pitch in there. Called strike 1. So come join us. We'll talk Eagle baseball at Camp Brightside and enjoy a beautiful dinner at a beautiful restaurant there. We love Camp Brightside and all they do for Eagle sports. The 0-1 pitch. Line drive out to right field. It'll fall in front of Ritchie for a 2-out single. So a second hit of the night for Tyson McFarland. 4th hit of the ball game for the Wildcats. And with 2 outs and a runner at first, that'll bring up number 8, Fernando Ramirez, the center fielder. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Flew out to center field in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 3rd. Expect that Tyson McFarland will be off and running here. In the top of the field with 2 outs and the bases open in front of him. Wildcats have got to try to get a run across to keep it from a run rule. First pitch, swinging, ground ball. Flewitt lays out. It's off his glove. Up, throws to first. In time. What a play! Oh, baby, David Flewitt. 3-1 on the putout to get Ramirez and the Wildcats here in the 5th. That's the ball game thanks to a great play by David Flewitt. He laid out. It went off his glove. He picks it up, tosses it to Curtin covering first. A bang-bang play, and the Wildcats are down here in the bottom of the 5th. The ball game is over. 10-0, Georgetown wins it. A 5-inning complete game shutout for Braden Curtin. He scattered 4 hits in the 5 innings, and the Eagles win it 10-0 over the Wildcats. Georgetown improves to 8-7-1 on the season, but more importantly, they move to 4-1 in district play. The loss drops the Wildcats to 2-3 in district play, 6-8-1 on the season. And we'll face off on Friday night against the Wildcats back at Eagle Field at Georgetown High School. Thanks for joining us here tonight live at Elgin High School. Your Eagles win it 10-0 in 5 innings over the Elgin Wildcats. And Braden Curtin goes the 5-inning distance to pitch the complete game shutout to get the win. And the Eagles move to 4-1 in district play. Thursday night, Camp Brightside. Come join us, the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, Friday night back at Eagle Field to take on the same Elgin Wildcats at home in Game 2 of this best-of-2 series. Thanks for joining us tonight for First Responder Broadcasting for SHN Sports Network. Thanks for joining us live here on the broadcast. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good night, everybody.